All right, what is up, guys? Hope you're having a great weekend. It's currently Saturday. I'm going to be releasing this video on Sunday. What are we talking about in this video? Number one, we're going to be talking about the economic calendar. Number two, we're going to cover crypto, specifically Bitcoin, what happened last week. And then I'm going to cover some options that I sold last week and some swing trades that I'm looking at. But let's get started. So number one, please, if you are a new trader, do not just go into the market, wake up on Monday morning and click buttons. If you do not prepare for the week, you are more than likely going to fail. If you don't fail, it's probably going to be luck, and you're not going to be able to repeat it week after week after week. So please prepare in advance. Know what days you're going to trade, know what times you're planning to trade, and then you can know when you're going to click a button and just have one or two good setups and just be done for the day. Enough of these days where you have 36 trades or 40 trades in one day, unless you have some specific crazy strategy that works. Just stick to the basics. So what are we looking at this week? On July 1st, July 2nd, and July 3rd, we have red folder news. Thursday is a bank holiday, so immediately I know Thursday is not a trading day. The stock market will be closed. The futures market is going to be open for half a day, but it's probably going to be erratic price action, probably going to be unnatural, more manipulated than usual, seek and destroy, designed to stop traders out. You don't want to deal with that. Also, Friday, the day after a bank holiday, just know this. If there is a bank holiday, the day after a bank holiday tends to be manipulated price action as well. You may get lucky. Maybe this Friday it's not going to be as manipulated. Maybe it's a trend day. Who knows? But over time, over 100 different Fridays or 100 different days after a bank holiday, most of the time you are going to get chopped around. You're going to get stopped out. It's not worth trading with real money. Stick to an eval account. Stick to paper trading. But that's Thursday and Friday. So Thursday and Friday are no trade days for me. But let's go starting on Monday. So we have red folder news at 10 a.m. So always, if we only have one set of red folder news, wait until after the red folder news is released to take a trade. So for example, on Monday, because we have 10 a.m. news, we have manufacturing and PMI, you just wait until 10 a.m., 7 a.m. Pacific time, 10 a.m. Eastern, 10:01, you can take a trade. Tuesday, same thing. We have two sets of red folder news, but they're very close to each other, so I almost treat it as a single set of red folder news, but I always trade after the second one. So for Tuesday, 10 a.m., we have Jolt's job opening, so we're going to wait for that to be released, and then we will take a trade. Hopefully there'll be some kind of a good setup. We will see. Wednesday, we have a big day on Wednesday, so this one is going to be interesting. So we have red folder news at 8:15, 8:30, and 10. But the difference with this day is that we also have red folder news at 2 p.m. That is FOMC meeting minutes, so that is a big market mover. So you might get a good setup between 8:15 and 8:30, maybe a good setup after 10, but it's unlikely. The more likely situation here is that the market is going to generate liquidity to both sides. So here's the thing that I want to explain to you guys. When an FOMC meeting happens, or FOMC meeting minutes, typically, the market is designed to create liquidity. Just remember, when there's FOMC days, liquidity tends to be generated. What does that mean? We're going to have some internal highs or internal lows that are created, probably some equal highs or equal lows, and they leave them there, and they wait until FOMC minutes are released. The algorithm then spools price up to those equal highs or down to those equal lows to stop traders out who were long and short at some point in the day. So just wait until 2 p.m. most likely. Again, if we see something at 8:15 or 8:30 that's AAA plus, and it's very likely that we can scalp and make some money, we'll do it. But the majority of the time, there will be liquidity that is created, some low resistance liquidity or LRLR. Retail traders know this as a trend line, so that might happen. So just wait until 2 p.m. Most likely. But we will obviously stay in the Discord, and we will talk about what we're seeing, and I will notify Discord members if I do take a trade before then. So that's it. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, perfect days to trade. Thursday, Friday, I would avoid entirely, especially if you're big green the first 3 days. Just stop. Go touch grass. Go do whatever you want to do. Enjoy your life. Hang out with friends and family. Just avoid it if you can. Okay, so let's move on to Bitcoin. If you watch some of my videos from last week, you will know that I talked about taking a long in this fair value gap right here. The issue here is that this is a very obvious fair value gap. It was still a good risk-reward trade in my eyes. I did take it with light size. My stop, as I said in the video, was a close below this daily fair value gap. If we get a close below, we haven't yet. We got wicks to the downside. If we get a close below it, trade is stopped out. It is what it is. That is part of trading. It's part of life. You lose sometimes, you win sometimes. That is the end of the story. If we close below that, I think we are going to go to this internal sell side. This is liquidity where there's a big amount of liquidity resting underneath this low. Where is the low at? I'm sorry, the low is at 56,500. So if the market closes below this on the daily fair value gap, if we close below the daily fair value gap, we are probably going to go down to this low. From there, I would look to size heavily into Bitcoin and take longs. I think from there, we're going to rip up to the upside. Nobody knows for sure, but a lot of ICT traders would call this a turtle soup. If we come down below this low and then we take out, we go to new all-time highs. That is Bitcoin right now. That is what I see personally. A lot of you know that I am right now in Riot. That is my biggest gamble trade. I don't normally do like gambling trades, but this is something I think has a great risk to reward. It's with small size. It's less than 1% of my portfolio account size. But I plan to take this all the way up to these 18s, the 20 levels, and then hopefully even further after that. We're going to get a push up above 23, but we'll have to see what happens. My risk here, I'm probably going to cut the trade if we close below like the 650 level. But if we start ripping, I'm going to make a shit ton of money on this, so I'm fine with it. That's Riot. I've covered it before. We're trading into this volume imbalance. We have low resistance liquidity. We have some buy-side liquidity here, all these internal highs. I think will be taken out eventually, especially when Bitcoin starts to rip. So it's just kind of one of these sympathy plays for Bitcoin. When Bitcoin starts to rally like crazy, the miners tend to rally as well, so that's what I'm waiting for. That's Bitcoin. Swing trades. What am I looking at right now? Well, the first thing that I personally purchased is Disney. I didn't buy shares just yet. I bought shares underneath this low at 79.07 that I accumulated, and I did take some off above this internal high at 118, but I am now averaging down into the position. I sold a set of puts here. We're now trading into this weekly fair value gap. The low of their fair value gap is 97.93, so I fully expect this to come down there. But I sold a put early, sold some puts early. We're also trading into this order block. So I think that this is a very good area for Disney to start ripping. And my full take profit, this is not a long-term investment, this is a swing trade. My full take profit will be at this internal high within a fair value gap at 126.48. That's where I think that Disney is headed overall in the long term. After that, I could care less. Another thing that I've been adding is Ulta Beauty. I've called this in the Discord. If you guys want access to that, we are currently running a 3-day trial for free. So you guys can come and check it out and see if it's a community that you like. Chipotle is something I want to add in the future as well. They just had a stock split. Where I'm going to add this yet, I don't really know. I don't like buying stuff at all-time highs, but as you know, when companies have stock splits, typically after splits, they start dumping. And then big money accumulates and they continue higher. We'll see what happens with that. PayPal, I had a swing trade on that I was stopped out on. I took some profits and the rest were stopped at break even. Shopify is one that I like, but I was kind of waiting for a few different things with this one. Number one, on the weekly, I wanted to see this full weekly fair value gap get traded into, and I wanted to see this daily, I believe it was a volume imbalance that I saw here. There's a daily gap. In ICT terms, it's called a volume imbalance. I wanted to see that traded into first before taking out this daily gap. Didn't happen, so I didn't get in that trade. Nike, personally, I'm not adding this. I've been saying forever that this is going to close below 82.22, which is the internal low on the weekly chart. And so I'm not adding that personally. And then finally, guys, TLT is the one that I was looking at for a swing trade as well. I've been adding this myself, just kind of dollar cost averaging into this. I think all of this low resistance liquidity, this trend line is going to be taken out. There's tons of liquidity that's generated here, buy side, and then ultimate buy side at 109.68. Probably going to go higher than that afterwards, but I will cut a majority of the position up here to take profits, and I will hold runners up to whatever it wants to run to. But again, when the Fed starts cutting rates, yields will start to tank and bond prices will start to shoot up. So these bond ETFs will start to rally because they track bond prices. So that's one that I'm adding as well. So that is it, guys. I covered the economic calendar. I covered crypto, Bitcoin, what's going on with that. I also covered the swing trades that I was looking at and some of the options that I sold this week, this previous week. And yeah, so if you guys want more information, you can message me on X. I am happy to answer any questions you have there. I answer pretty quick there. If you want a quicker response, you can also send me a link in our Discord. I do have a free section for the Discord, so if you want to just chat with me there, you're welcome to ask me for the link. You can send me a DM on X, or you can join the Discord community, the premium Discord community. We have a 3-day free trial running right now, so let me know if you have any questions about that too. And best of luck this week trading.